Hey guys, good morning, happy Sunday. I hope you're all doing well. We are here with an Astro Chat. Well, day after the new moon, eh? This is obviously still relevant. The new moon, it is an eclipse, very intense. Usually the energy of the new moon, and if you've been following the channel for some time, you will have picked up on the fact that, heck, I feel like a new moon or a full moon counts for months even out. So anyways, but let's get back to it here. It's funny, I noticed that I titled this video Why in the Hocus Pocus is going on. Spirit guides are like, listen, we know what. It's, if anything, it's becoming more clear. The question is more why. Why did that go down like that back then? Why is this sort of happening like this? And why? It's not really what anymore. This is what I'm hearing, which is very interesting. So, I wanted to get on though and talk a little bit about astrology. We ended up not going on live on members. I felt guided to hold off on that. We will eventually head back to members, so for those of you who are wondering when the next updated video will be, I'm heeding my intuition, and we will hopefully jump on soon at that. But what is time? It's whenever the universe is ready for us to jump back in and take an angle or approach like that. With the transits, I will let you know probably by the end of today what we're looking at with members, but as far as that. But to get back to it in a general way, and thank you guys so much for your support as well on members. Oh, let me share this link on Twitter really quickly because YouTube does this thing where they don't notify after like 2-3 videos. Give me a second. Post this. Okay, we're back. So let's clear the energy. What were we saying? So this new moon, right? Well, let's preface this by saying that let me just say this. The last Sagittarius readings that have been for like the last year or so, oh my gosh, they've been really intense. I feel the archetype of Sagittarius has been for a wild ride. I will never forget the last string of readings for Sagittarius. The last month or so, specifically months, really very telling, really very telling. And I remember the Jupiter retrograde reading for Sagittarius especially is very telling, and was something that was kind of particular, and it was describing the sort of roller coaster ride that Sagittarius has been on as an archetype, right? So when we're talking about what's going on here, we're talking about the archetype of Sagittarius. So now, what I'm seeing here, and what we have been seeing, okay, is that there's been something kind of like, we could say as a collective, we're moving through this experience, this energy, this way of experiencing Sagittarius. We've been experiencing quite a lot. Did we have always, at every single stop, okay, and crossroads and moment in time of the transit, of in general, an answer? No. And I think a lot of what we've been experiencing as a collective, because also, interesting fun fact, Sagittarius, I've noticed, usually comes to explain what's happening more so even in the environment. Like the physical earth. Yes, because it was like right before the pandemic, right before we had actually lockdown and we were all outside. Do you remember this? They like closed down outdoor or indoors in most establishments, business establishments. All of the Sagittarius readings for about, I think, a year up to that point were outdoors. And I was like, this is very strange, Sagittarius. Like, I never film outdoors for you. We're just filming outdoors. It was a whole thing. No, it was like I was walking outside. I was filming a channel. You guys remember that? Yeah, those of you who are on the channel, you'll remember that. But anyways, we were filming and walking, and it was something very particular. But it was only almost always Sagittarius as a sign. Now, this is not a huge surprise because Sagittarius does actually physically rules nature as well. It rules, travel even to foreign lands, and it rules the actual earth as well. So anyways, let's clear it and ground. It rules countries, it rules the map, right? Travel. So it's interesting. I mean, I will still continue to reflect on why that might be, why it is that Sagittarius, even when we had the forest fires in California, the readings in the Sag, like about, again, a few months up until that point, I think even a year up until that point, were I was saying, I feel this heat, there's something with this heat growing, something, you know. So anyhow, without getting drawn out, the point is that Sagittarius can rule the collective and what we experience as a collective in the physical 3D human terms of Earth. This human experience we're having on Earth. So our relationship to Earth, okay. But in a general sense, okay, I will never forget that reading of the Jupiter in Pisces, okay, retrograde, and it was the Sagittarius version of that reading. And it was very, very much explanatory. When it comes to what you zoom out with and what you take from this whole experience, it's not always that we understand exactly what's going on in the very, very, very little moment that we're sort of feeling that there's something going on, right? Whatever that means for you. That can mean so many different things, right? So you'll have to just kind of maybe take it as you will, see how you feel with that concept and what it sort of speaks to for you. And obviously this is still a channel message. But it was just very interesting because the whole reading was like Sagittarius knowing something, feeling it in their bones even, and then, you know, saying, you know what, I'm going to stop trying to figure it out. I'm going to stop trying to have an answer for all of why I am feeling what I'm feeling. And so it was, yeah, a string of readings that literally were like, Sagittarius, let people show you their true colors, which is really, I think, about releasing, having faith, surrendering to the process, and saying, what is meant to be known will come up at the time that it's meant to. If you're feeling something, if you're picking up on something, that's one thing and okay. It doesn't mean that you have to bring karma forth as well for others. I'm hearing that. And maybe there's a reason, you know, for why it is that you're in the situation that you're at. If it was meant for you to call something out for someone else at a certain point in time, you would have. You would have. And so, yeah, I recommend to go back about 6 months to the Sagittarius readings. I might do so myself, especially because we are obviously at a very strong sort of pivot point here with Sagittarius at the new moon eclipse, so it's always, you know, going to be sort of very much impactful in what does come up around this time. And I would recommend to go back 6 to 8 months, look at prior Sagittarius readings. Let's clear the energy around. Yeah, even look back at the full moon in Sagittarius. So anyways, the point being that there's a lot coming up and out, and I just want to say that in addition to this, we do have Mars and Scorpio getting stronger, about to culminate out. There's a lot of bullshit, love and light, but there's a lot that as a collective we've been aware of, but that we just haven't been calling out, and I feel that there's obviously a reason for that. I mean, we are maybe calling it out in a particular manner, but not directly. Thank you so much, Valerie Nelson, for tuning in, for your dear super chat. Thank you so much for your support, you guys. That's very kind. Those of you who did super chat last night as well, in the live, and even prior in the last, you know, few videos. Thank you guys for your support in the live chats via super chat, and overall for hitting the like button on the videos, for your watch, you know, your views, and your support with subscriptions, of course, and sharing the videos. Thank you guys for those of you who do partake in this experience here of ascension together and reflecting in the self. So anyways, to go back to it though, let's clear the energy ground. It's just very, very interesting because I'm getting this feeling that, you know, it's not about knowing, and it's just funny that the title of this video, like, kind of switched up to why. Not what is going on, but why. And yeah, it's like, I think that we, as a collective, we've been feeling a lot, but we haven't been in a space to really communicate about it, possibly, until we did call this out. Once we would step into Sagittarius season with the sun, with Mercury in Sagittarius, our voice would be coming out more. We still have Mars in Scorpio though, so just wait. Those of you still feel like there was a little bit of a leftover of a little bit of a situation or some bullshit, it will be called out. I'm feeling guided to really make a point of this, and it will be called out publicly. This is what I'm hearing. So if you're not doing shady shit, good for you. You're in the light, okay? Yeah, you're good. You have nothing to really be concerned about. Once Mars turns out of Scorpio, that's when we will really see it very clearly. That's the beauty of Scorpio, is that it brings shit so close and forward to the third eye specifically, where you're just one with the truth at a certain point, and you don't even know why. You just know it, and you just know it so closely, okay, to be the truth for you. And then once we step into Sagittarius season, we're gonna call that shit out. So this is the universe sort of saying, psst, hey, chill. You've been really patient with this. You feel maybe that you don't have all the answers, but you feel like you know what, you just don't know why. And the opportunity to transform whatever it is that you're having trouble with will come once we step into Mars and Sagittarius. This is going to be a mighty stellium of a moment, and this is going to be a very strong energy period. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Sagittarius is a benefic energy, which means that it brings energies out. Okay, it brings things out. There's a reason why Jupiter is a benefic energy, right? Because it literally draws things out and it brings it into, it's a light body energy. Jupiter is a fire planet. It is very much about expansion and horizons that are, opening and widening, and we're seeing more. It's about bringing light to what we've understood in Scorpio. This is why we move from Sag. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. This is just what I'm feeling though. Like when we move out of Scorpio, then we bring what we've learned in Scorpio. It's not like it's irrelevant, which is PS why every sign is important, right? But let's clear it. Sagittarius, that's the duty of Sagittarius. So there's the universe, I think right now is saying, look, and your spirit guides are saying, don't have fear and concern about how the truth is called out, the mechanics of how things become known. It's not about time. Okay, and the further we get into the cycle, right, the further we get through the astrology wheel, we begin to realize more and more that there are more macro conversations happening, right? When we start with the sign of Aries season, if we literally think of it like that, right, we start the season with a very strong focus on the element of fire, Mars, which is, if we think of it symbolically, it's about the ego. So, and we're obviously not here just for the ego. We're obviously not just here for the physical body. We're obviously not here for just these, impulsive little moments of satisfaction and blah, blah. We're not here just for that, right? I mean, okay, so if you're operating from the shadow of your Mars, you may think that that's what life is about, and so you will have your karmic lessons in relation to that, the actions that you take on with that mantra in mind. However, we're obviously not here just for that. Those of you who are into astrology probably understand this, like, moreover, that we have every sign, and there are different ways in which perspectives with which we look at life. It's not just from the lens of Mars, but Mars is important. It begins to cycle through, and that's the initial sort of point, right? Which is why also your rising is so important. Your rising sign. That's the lens through which you open into this reality of the dimension of Earth. That's how you begin this journey. Now let's clear it and ground. We go from Mars to Pisces, right? Pisces says, okay, 12th house. I realize that there's a hell of a lot more to life than I once knew. Okay, it's about perspective. The beauty of Pisces is that it realizes that the shadow of Pisces, because every sign can have a shadow, is that you can make excuses and say, I realize that all are one. But it doesn't mean, right, every sign, it behaves within the context, and it must adhere within the context. It must respect and acknowledge the context within which it thrives. Pisces is not a floating energy, right? It does live in the zodiac of the 12 signs. So it is dependent in a way on the other signs. That's why we have to say, we must see Pisces, we must see the 12th house as balanced within the ratio aspect of the other signs. We have to see Pisces in relation to Aries, where we began and where we so called end, right? So it's like nothing is more or better or however, it's just all context. And you can have a shadow of Pisces as well, where you're like disregarding your physical body and you're completely ungrounded and you're just focused on, like higher dimensions. You can have that too, where you're not, you have no boundaries with others and you're not paying attention to what your needs are in that relationship. That's the shadow of Neptune. It can be, those are some shadows of Neptune. I don't want to go too far into that, but yeah. The point is, right, I don't want to get too far into the Neptune because we are still also, by the way, in Neptune and Pisces, and Jupiter here is about to go into Pisces, so from Aquarius, because it just recently, it's direct now. Let's clear the energy around. Anyways, the point is that you learn a lot by going through the wheel and getting to Pisces. And as a collective, we go through this cycle every year, hence the solar return, right? The point is that what we thought back in Aries season, specifically think back to about Aries season, it's going to be brought out in a really big way, especially when we leave this cycle and we move into 2022. And especially when we hit back to Pisces season when we officially close out, because we have the new year, you know, January, but we also have the new year. We have the new cycle, which is when we hit back from Aries to Pisces. So this is a moment where, you know, there's much more that's happening beneath the surface, and it's not about time. And it's not about just this moment of, wow, I'm dating Mark, and like, you know, I'm hearing his balls don't drop. I don't know what that's alluding to. Okay, take it as you will. Okay, I don't know what that's just coming through. That's the channel message. Okay, you take it as you will. Early morning, like, channel messages. I'm dating, you know, Frederick, and he's not telling me why he won't eat the fries. Okay, sitting on the table, yeah, I don't know what's going on with him. There's a little bit of a strange energy between us. Like, it is what it is. I'm dating, like, again, I'm here, Marcus. Marcus is acting like he's a Venus flytrap kind of dude, and he doesn't want to know about me, but he wants to tell me about himself. I don't know why. It's all about him and the relationship. I don't know what that's alluding to. Again, you can take it as you will. Let's clear it. Whatever situation is going on, the point is that there's a lot more to it, and that we're going to get to that, but later down the line. This is what I'm hearing from Spirit. Maybe you're going to realize that, you know what, it's not about what's just going on right now. It's not, I don't need to figure it out right now, because it's not about figuring it out. You already know. You already know. This is for some of you guys. You already know what's going on. That's the point of the transcendence. Let's clear it and ground. It's about the transcendence of what you know, right? We come in, it's not like we really know anything, it's just we perceive what we've known, what has been. We don't really, and this is part of a series, that I want to do, but it is related actually to a tarot deck that I'm launching, and it is about this very concept. It's not like but I'll save it as a surprise. Okay, but the point is, can really just start talking with the Sagittarius energy. Anyhow, what were we saying? Yeah, so the point is that it's not that you don't know. You know, you have perfect awareness, but it's just a matter of the alignment of the stars. How many times has it been where you're just like, oh my god, like, I feel like I could just do this right now. It's so perfect. Like, all of the stars are kind of aligned, no? Aren't they? Like, isn't it the right time? Isn't it perfect? And then, for whatever reason, like, the universe is not enabling a certain situation for you. I'm sure we've all had those experiences where we thought, but like, and that's a sign that it's a matter of the full orchestration of what it is that you would like to manifest. If you're not manifesting something, you don't truly want to manifest it, and that is a fact. That right there is a fact. Maybe you think you want to manifest that thing, but there's a part of you that has and holds consciousness of what that would actually manifest as that is not in alignment with your higher self. And maybe that's triggering. Maybe it's like, but like, I love like Molly. Why can't I just date Molly? Like, come on. I want to be with Molly, or I want to be like, you know, I want to meet my twin, or blah blah. It's like we operate on so many spectrums in this human plane. From the psychology space, psychologically we think we want something. Then from a physical standpoint, you're feeling physically, do you think that you want something? Okay, then, and this is also related to how your chakras are aligned. Okay, your mind can be affecting how your root chakra. Okay, yes, and your heart chakra can be affected. So there's so many factors. Let's clear it. And you want to make sure, obviously, that you're grounded, because sometimes you can also can be with the higher chakras as well. It's like, if you're very ungrounded, you can believe that the past lives are happening right here, right now, which in a way we can say they are, but you take it as well, right? Okay. You want to be grounded. You don't want to be like all the way up just in like, you know, BC world, okay, having past life visions like in real time. This is not going to serve you, but most likely, but you take it unless you're channeling. That's why, yeah, it's all the context. Let's clear it. Spirit has a lot of messages this morning. Wow. So anyways, and again, I'm channeling here for those of you like, oh, she's just talking so much. I'm not talking, I'm channeling, just FYI. There's some messages here that are coming through. Morning after the eclipse of the new moon. Now, let's clear it back from around. There have been times, I'm sure, where you really, really thought, I am like almost for sure, I'm for certain that I really want to manifest this. And it's not like that. It's energy. The universe doesn't look at, like, your thought of, like, you know, and it looks at the impulse associated with that on a frequency level. It looks at, okay, you know, it's almost like a wavelength meter. If you're thinking, you know, that you really want something, it's not about really your thoughts, you guys. It's not thoughts for thoughts, okay? If you look at it on a little meter thing, okay? You can think as a human that you're screaming out to the universe, I really want this thing! Okay, like, and on the spectrum of energy, that can look like this. Now, if you really want something, in other words, if it's in alignment with your higher being, first of all, you wouldn't just be thinking about it. You wouldn't be thinking that you want it, because your mind would not be involved. It would be all of you, and actually, you would already manifest it. Okay, this is true. It doesn't mean that if you're not manifesting something, you don't deserve that thing, or that you don't want. It's just a matter of the alignment of where you feel with your higher self you're at when it comes to manifesting whatever that is. So maybe you do want that thing, but you don't want it now. This is an example, and that speaks to your power as being integrated with the universe and the matrix of manifestation. So it's a beautiful thing. If you're not manifesting something so-called, there's a reason for that, and you should really actually be quite grateful, because the universe will not allow you to step into situations that do not inspire your potential, okay, as a true manifestation being. If you manifested everything, like, and anything that you thought you want, I mean, you would most likely not be, yeah, you would be random. You would be completely random. So think about the times where you look back and you're like, wow, in retrospect, I'm really happy I didn't see Doug that night. I'm really happy that I didn't hang out with, Meredith when she was having her moment. I don't know, you guys, let's clear it. Take it as you will. This is an example. Love and light, okay, but you know what I'm saying? Like, there will be those moments. Now, so, what I'm kind of getting is, like, yet again, let's clear the energy around. The universe, what does the universe look at? It looks at the actual situation that is ongoing. You can say whatever you want, but if you don't actually have the intention to manifest and will that into your world, okay, the universe is just not going to acknowledge it. And that's where, as a human, you may be frustrated. As a human, you may be fucking irritated and annoyed. Like, okay, you really might be. Because you're thinking that you want something, and then you're thinking, what's the gridlock of why it's not happening? It's not about it. It's about how it is that you embody what you feel you would like to manifest. And if it's not fully embodied by you, by your higher self, mind, body, soul, and that's not something that you can, like, figure out how to do, because it's just a matter of the scripture of your soul, really, okay? If it's not meant to be, it's not going to be. And it's not because it's a rule, it's because you have actually acknowledged that with your higher self on another plane. So this is a message, okay? This is a message that is quite important, I think, to bring forth, and we're channeling here. So for those of you who are very frustrated, okay, very frustrated with why it is, and Magnus, says, what's Nat upset about? Nat's not. So I'm channeling here. So, yes, this is Spirit wants this message out. Manifestation is not about your thoughts and thinking so hard and long, because that would be so silly. Otherwise, you would literally have reincarnated as just a fucking brain. And you're not just a brain, okay? You're not just a brain. That's actually, truly, when people say the law of attraction and manifestation is about thinking hard enough about what, no. That's actually pretty rude. Okay, to say that you're literally just your thoughts? Like, are you kidding me? No. No. Okay, that's disempowering, actually, of the full matrix of what goes into you actually manifesting truly what you really, really want to experience. Okay, it's not just about your thoughts. And it is about, okay, how it is that you fulfill all of your needs here on this plane, which are varied. And we have to be patient with ourselves, okay? We have to really be patient with ourselves when it comes to understanding what it is that we want. Okay, so, yeah, and if you're in that mode of realizing, like, I just kind of don't really, think that what I want is happening. I don't think it's about that. I really just don't think it's about that. I think that it's actually more like maybe you haven't understood fully yet in human 3D terms what you want, and that's why you're not manifesting it. It's like the universe is a blessing in disguise here, taking your consciousness to the next level and saying we have something much better here for you, okay? You just have to be patient, but it's you with you. And so it's never from a space of like, oh, I'm like not manifesting. You're always on the right path. You're always manifesting. So don't feel like you need to do anything specific to manifest. It doesn't mean don't obviously work towards alignment. But don't be frustrated, thinking, shoot, I'm dropping the ball. Shoot, for some reason I'm just not making this work. No. Those are conditional connections if you're feeling like you have to do something very particular to feel successful in that space as well. Okay, this is a general video. Okay, general message, you take it as you will. but it doesn't mean like don't go to work. Okay, for example, like, but there's a reason. Okay, and so you want to just be patient with yourself. Magnus, hey, I don't know what we're doing here. This is why I'm not doing the live chats anymore, by the way. So yeah, no, we're channeling love and light. Yeah, so I'm sorry. I'm gonna just goodbye. Love and light. Bye, Magnus. Ciao. You know, so so what I'm seeing here is that you have to really be faithful of you, faithful of you, and faithful in your own talents and abilities, to remember that no matter what, you're a manifester. It's not what you actually experience here in 3D that makes you a manifester or not. Okay? It is not anything in particular that happens. You come here as a timeless being, and your potential is not gauged by way of what happens on 3D physical earth plane. We're here re-perceiving our potential. The potential's already there. So we're here just sort of figuring it all kind of out, but we already are, if that makes sense. So the universe really wants this message out here. The universe really, really wants this message out here. So don't be frustrated. Don't be frustrated. You know what I'm saying? Don't be frustrated with the way... See, I get distracted with the chat box. Love and light. Okay. Let's clear it. I get really distracted with the chat box for some reason. Don't be disenchanted, you guys. If there is, and the issue is because it's on the phone, so it's like right here. So sometimes when I'm on the iPad, or if it's farther away, then it's clear. Anyways, but yeah, don't feel disempowered. Okay, if what it is, or the process by which what you're experiencing is feeling like random to you. I hear it like that. Okay, don't let anything on 3D affect how you feel as an infinite manifestor and creator, because it is so not okay in that order of events. It's like the chicken or the egg, what comes first. Okay, and so that's where we have to be careful with these sort of like manifestation mantras and mentalities of like, wow, like you have to do this and that to be this and that and to manifest this and that. It's like, you really don't have to be anything, guys, because you already are. And I think it's about having faith and having flow with the universe and saying, what is it that I feel I would like to manifest? And as a feeling, do I hold that feeling and just place my focus on it? Because it is me, without any destination point goal of saying I'm gonna do that and then that's gonna happen after that, without any expectations to associate with the feeling, attached to the feeling, right? Without any expectations attached to the feeling. What is it that I just feel, that I remember within myself, okay, as a feeling, as an energy? Because again, the universe doesn't lie. It realizes when you are truly in the flow state, when you're trying to like figure out how to manifest something, right? This is just what I'm hearing. So, you know, I think it's kind of about that, and associating that feeling of being completely unlimited, unbound with who you are. And it's not about what you manifest in 3D. Again, I hear it like that. Spirit wants it so clear. It is not about what you manifest. Okay, it is about, we'll go back to the title of the video, why? And you can see it in so many ways. And it's not about forcing the answer to that, okay? Let's clear it. Why is the process of life? Why something is happening the way that it's happening. Not why for it's bad or it's good or it's neutral, but why for the sake of understanding my personal journey. My experience of how I experience me and what I am as a timeless manifestor. Let's clear it. The fact that you're here on Earth, that you've manifested, period, is a testament to the fact that you have already manifested everything that you could manifest, because you are what you create, right? So a little bit of that. But beyond that, you guys, let's clear it and ground. Yes, it's not what. And I think we get really very mouse on the wheel-ish with the cheese-ish kind of vibes sometimes, with trying to reach a certain goal or end, or we get really drawn out of like, why is it, you know? And when we do manifest and stuff, that does kind of happen in a line and whatnot, it's a little bit of a placebo energy, because it's not really that thing. And even if it is, think about it. If we manifested this and that and blah blah, it's like, in the traditional sense of how we are aligned to perceive manifestation as a psychological process, that would be a conditional connection to that thing that we've created, and it wouldn't be us, right? So that, to say it in the way that we would kind of be forming a codependent energy exchange with that thing, which is not actually true love and transcendence. So the things that are meant for you come naturally and they flow. They just happen because they are, and they are you. And that's when you're not afraid of losing what you manifest. Okay, how many times has it been where like, oh my god, this is perfect, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. It's not perfect. Otherwise, okay, it would not be, if it were truly perfect, it would be you, and you wouldn't be going, oh my god, my god, my god. It would just be, just as you are, and just as you have been for years. Right? For years and years and years and years and years, nothing really changes, guys. I'm just feeling guided again by Spirit to emphasize this. We are not defined by what we manifest in 3D. But we do experience through the lens of different ways in which we perceive how it is that we reflect ourselves here. So it's interesting. I think that, you know, there are moments where we get very caught up in this matrix. They're very, very caught up. Then it can stand for absolutely anything. Relationships. How many times, let's get honest here, how many times have we thought, oh my god, this person is amazing, our relationship's going perfectly, oh my god, I can't change anything in what I'm doing with this person right now, because otherwise then the relationship is going to change and then I'm going to lose what I've created here. That is a complete false mantra of manifestation. What that tells you is that you didn't actually manifest that thing. That thing is not actually there to begin with, because if it were truly there, it would have already been there. And there would have been no change of status of, oh, I've now united with also my beloved. Like, I don't know, let's clear ground. If there was true transcendence, you would not feel that something has really changed. And let's be honest with that. That's why it's not really healthy to be in situations where people take you way up high and then they bring you way down low and then you feel like you got this roller coaster situation. That's not true love, guys. Love and light. I'm just getting that message here. Like, that right there is a conditional, okay, characterization psychologically of what you think you're worth. I'm hearing it like that, because otherwise, why would we associate ourselves with something that is not already there? So, in other words, if you're thinking of moving out of a certain situation, okay, because it gives you that feeling, it could be, oh, you know how many times, you guys, I've dismissed situations where people were, it was just too much energy, too much even positive energy, okay? Too much pointed energy, okay? Because, yeah, why do we need that? If anyone takes you way up high, giving you, like, way too many compliments and way too, oh my god, everything's, like, bubbles and rainbows and perfect and bunnies and blah blahs, I mean, even that is not healthy, right? So, because why do we need that? So what the point is right now, I think that the Spirit wants to make, is that you don't have to go anywhere to arrive at any particular destination. That is an illusion, and where you're fighting for love, where you're fighting for the light and blah blah, it's not it. Okay? That's you fighting maybe your ego, then maybe your shadow, and that's where you want to look into shadow work, okay? Think, why am I still having this conversation with this person right now? Okay? Why am I having this situation here happen right now with this person in this way, in this lifetime? Why have I decided to also put up with this situation? Why have I allowed the situation to take my time, my energy, okay? When really, it's within me, okay? And when I preserve my energy, that's when I truly manifest. It's not the other way around, where I'm putting so much love into this person and all they're doing back is being an absolute asshole, okay? That situation is karmic. But it's not what it is even, guys, because it's all an illusion. And it's pretty much a dream, right? Life. So no one really is doing anything. It's what we're sort of saying, hey, yeah, come into my world and, you know, make me forget, okay, who I really am, so that, well, all right, I'll come back to that point where I'll remember it again, but it's sort of just like a sport at a certain point. So don't try and look at situations as also, wow, okay, the be all end all. This happened, that's what that means. Nothing means anything, guys, okay? Just, like, let it go. If something happened, if someone was behaving in a certain way, let them do what they need to do. Let them be who they feel they need to be. Let them realize that they're not so-called in love. I don't know. whatever it is that anyone is at the point of in their personal life, it means absolutely zero about you. It means absolutely nothing about you. Because let's think about it, okay? When you reincarnated, were you hand in hand with that person? Did you come out like two little twinsies holding hands? Okay, like, way, like, through the womb? No, right? Okay. So, even if you are a so-called, you believe you're a twin with someone, like, you know what I mean? Even if it's like by absolute, like, whatever the hell it is, guys. I mean, you don't even come out at the same time of the womb as your own mother, right? And that, they say, is a very strong connection. So it's like, you're not coming out like hand-in-hand twinsies from the womb with your so-called twin. So the point is that you are you first. You are here because of you. So, and yeah, so you want to just be aware of the things that are derailing you from that mantra space of making you feel like something is so goddamn important that it has the capacity to overrule your belief in yourself as an absolute creator, okay, and a higher being, okay? So that is, I think, the point of this message. And but in terms of astrology, to bring it back down to astrology, to bring it back down to the terms of astrology, which is kind of like the syllabus right now, is we are getting the latter part of this blow a little bit from the Scorpio Mars, okay, where we are still feeling the nonsense that has been and that we have allowed in our world, the toxic energies, okay? We are observing where we gave our power so-called away, our so-called power, so-called away, perceptively, where we have allowed certain mantras to live that were not true for us, right? At the end of the day, Scorpio brings us to ourselves. It brings us back to and within ourselves. It brings us to our concept of manifestation that is unique to us. So what is it that has disrupted your connection to your higher self is the higher vibrational question of Scorpio. At this time, with Mars and Scorpio especially, it's about our actions. It's about just coming really clear with that and saying, oh, this person is draining me. They're making me literally feel like I am not a manifester. The Mars rules the physical body, right? So when Mars is in Scorpio, it's ruling sign. Co-ruling, it does also rule by Aries. But when it's in Scorpio, and we're talking about Scorpio, we know what Scorpio has been. If you are new to this channel, go check out the last month's worth of astrology chats, because we talked about at length what's been going on with the planets. And I find that we have to look at what comes before a certain transit as well, because it's an ongoing conversation, right? Like, if you have someone you're meeting with, okay, your conversation is going to go in a certain way based on maybe, how do you know? Maybe they had a 5-hour conversation right before they stepped into that convo with you, and they were having a very particular conversation with somebody else. That's going to kind of affect the way that they're having a conversation with you in that moment, right there, right now. So, you know, honestly, I think that we have to look at the whole string of transits to really understand. And this is why I feel like it's been so interesting with Spirit, because we've sort of been on this trilogy sort of adventure ride with astrology. And it's just been very telling, like, of how the experiences that have been sort of moving through in a sequence of energy. So, but to say it this way, Scorpio's been through a lot, and so right now we have the last planet in Scorpio. Mars in Scorpio is gonna just so close to just transitioning out, and so we're still feeling the injustice. I'm hearing that as well. We're still picking up on it. We're still observing it in some way, but what we do about it will come when Mars steps in Sagittarius. So yeah, balance is always going to be had. What goes up comes down. You know, just remember that cycles are cycles. So even if at certain times, and it's going to get more intense, guys, as Mars gets stronger in Scorpio into the later stages and degrees of energy, okay, you know, the energies are going to be known, or going to be clear, or going to be made clear. It's important to fully experience. It's important to feel, okay, what comes here up. And then we will have the opportunity to do something about that, again, once we step into Sagittarius season. So if you're in a moment right now where you're saying, I don't understand why the universe has me feeling some sort of way about the situation, but I'm not really feeling like I understand what to do about whatever, you know, something like that, there's a reason for that. And so we have to move through the full cycle. We have to move fully through Scorpio to get then to Sagittarius. So there's a reason for everything. Love and light to you guys. Thank you for tuning into you. Maybe we'll jump into a later chat or something. You guys, enjoy your new moon morning after, day after. And yeah, these energies are very potent. Keep it in mind that you might feel them sort of throughout, especially 6 months down the line. You might, let's clear it. Yeah, I mean, this whole week is going to be intense. But you may feel the energies of this cycle hitting on concepts of about 6 months ago as well, and hitting on, I mean, if we're going to really say it, truly, this cycle may affect the next 6 years. So lay your foundations here, you know, and I think that just the important thing is to just keep feeling, being honest with what's coming up. Just don't repress it. Allow it to come up and out, and maybe then take your actions once Mars moves again into Sagittarius. This is the last message here. Spirit really wants us out. If you're not feeling guided, like I see people feeling a lot right now, but they want to almost suppress it. They don't want to fully feel it. They don't want to embody it. They feel like maybe it's too much kind of vibe. Okay, allow it to come up and out, and again, you're going to have more to do with that space, okay? As a collective, we're doing shadow work with the Mars and Scorpio, the last degrees and stages right after Scorpio season. We're going to have a moment, okay, of silence for that energy, a mirror like this, and we're going to be able to transmute that. So follow your intuition, you guys. Keep you up with your flow, your personal flow, and clear your energy and ground yourselves here, especially during this time. Also, side note, Neptune has since gone direct, but it is obviously still in Pisces, which is very, very, you guys, this is a super karmic time. Like the last time we had Neptune in Pisces in retrograde was during the witch trials. So this is also an added factor. We literally recently just went direct. So anyways, there's a lot coming up. Keep clearing, grounding your aura, you guys. Love and light to you.